just demonically like.
Okay, I think we're live.
Yes.
Cool. Hello. I guess we can begin with introductions. So, hello, I'm Armin. You're on my channel. Nice to see you.
Hi, I'm Therese from Bookish Therese. Hope everyone's doing okay.
Hello, I'm Lisa from Lisa Marie.
Hi, I'm Andrew from Andrew Reads.
Hi, I'm Charlotte from Charlotte's Chapter. I nearly forgot my channel name then.
It's fine, we all do.
I was just about to say like my full name. I was like, wait, no, that's not what this is.
Like, hello, I'm introducing myself. No, I went to Chick-fil-A the other day and they asked me my name for my order and I just gave them the full name and spelled it because I'm so used to it.
You're like, security number and everything.
Yeah, here's my full information. No, I almost said, and you're watching
like
Disney Channel.
I know. I was about to say one day I'm just gonna be like, "Hi, I'm Teresa. You're watching Disney Channel."
Yeah, I haven't done that in years, but for some reason that's still the first thing that popped into my head. But this is so weird. It's telling me my live viewers are just me, like my channel, but that's not correct. Okay, hello Casey.
Hi,
Casey,
Hello Connor. Hi, I'm Connor. Welcome, honorary guest. Yeah, but obviously today we're going to be talking about Chain of Gold, which is exciting. We have a lot to cover.
Chain of Iron. For me, it's Chain of Gold, but it's Chain of Iron.
Did I say Chain of Gold?
I've been doing that. I've
I'm literally holding the book
Gold. That's it.
right here, and Hi, TB. Glad to have you.
Hello.
Teresa's book gave me anxiety. Therese, can you show us your?
Oh god.
I thought I had mine a lot.
Lisa, I think Therese has you beat.
Mine's
Yeah.
I apologize if you hear me just say Nico repeatedly because my cat's crying for no reason and I don't know why.
Am I the only one that didn't? Okay.
Yes. Why did you do that?
I need to reread it. I only do it on when I reread. Yes.
Okay.
That's how I finish so fast, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel that. I definitely slow down doing all this.
Just so just so everyone's aware, Andrea here decided to read the entire book before any of us had our books, and then she was complaining about how none of us had read the book.
I suffered for it. I learned my lesson.
You did.
So
now you know. When
Mhm.
Chain of Thorns comes out, you have to wait for all of us.
but it was
Or
kind
just
of fun.
go slow.
It's gonna be hard, but I'll try.
It didn't help that you had like days off, right, when you got the book.
Yeah,
So
I was
all
like,
you had time was to read.
yes.
I was literally like in the middle of my school week, so I went to the store and bought the book before I'd finished rereading Chain of Gold, and then I came home and I went to a meeting with a professor. Like it was like
Didn't even read it.
okay.
I like,
Hello, Allie.
Hello.
hello.
And TV says all I know is Grace is evil and everyone hates her. There's no plot. So I answered that.
I mean, that's
I
something.
mean, you
He's
ain't
not
wrong.
wrong. That's it.
You ain't wrong.
Yeah,
So-
he's got it. That's the whole live show. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Just kidding.
That's funny.
Wait, wasn't that from like it doesn't even it's not from even from today.
Yes, it is.
Wait,
Wait,
No,
no,
it's not.
because mine it's like
Wait.
7:57 p.m.
Yeah,
Why
mine
is it
says
there?
12:57 p.m.
Maybe
Connor,
he
what did
was
you
like
do?
7:54.
He went back in time. It's like,
Wait, everybody's are showing me like different. Oh no, time zones are a thing. Wait, I was like, why did it go from 12 to 1? Like, why did that happen?
wait, Connor said I didn't write
I
that.
didn't write that. You lying. You're lying.
Well, obviously you did. It's here. Connor's the imposter. That sounds sus. Okay.
Stop putting
Yeah.
it early on there. We don't know where it came from. Just don't put that up.
Yeah, I was like, okay, Connor's here. Like, I don't know how he sent it, but I guess it's fine. Like, whatever. But I guess maybe it's from like a previous live show or something. I don't know. Anyways, back to the book. I guess we can go through real quick and share our ratings, just to get the ball rolling. So I gave it a 5 out of 5.
I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5 too.
I also gave it a 5-star.
I gave it 5 stars.
And I gave it 5 stars.
Wow. Crazy
Well, okay.
variety in here.
So
I,
wild.
I'm glad
I'm
we're
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that though, because Chain of Gold, I was like, I hated this. I gave it like 3 stars, and I put it in my most disappointing reads video, and then I reread it, and I was like,
Wait.
I agree with that. Like the first time when I read Chain of Gold, I was like, okay, this is too many characters. I couldn't get into it. I didn't feel for them. And then in Chain of Iron, I don't know how she changed that, but I just fell in love with them so much more. And now I do like Chain of Gold, so it's weird.
yeah. It's like, I think once you get the, no, yeah. TV says I gave it a 1.
I'm still here.
I
Yeah.
gave it a 5, and Connor gave it a 4 because he's
He's quirky.
What was
yeah, I think once you like figure out who's who, everything makes a lot more sense, and you can stop like trying to figure that out and just kind of pay attention to the characters. And I think all of them get like their personalities just like step it up 100%. So
Oh yeah.
Casey gave it a 4 stars because she's not like you, Casey. You're just a YA protagonist here, aren't you?
Okay, fine then, pick me. I say that lovingly.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. We weren't surprised. Like, you're trying to hype it up and give it suspense. Like, he gave it a 5 stars. But I feel like Chain of Iron couldn't be anything else. It was just like,
it was great.
yeah.
Cassie's just really good at writing second books.
Yeah.
Also, that.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
I feel like up until The Dark Artifices, I couldn't take the books, like the series, apart in my head in terms of books. I just rated the series as a whole because I wasn't like reading them, you know, like as individual books. I was just reading the series. And also I wasn't a booktuber or like critiquing books. I was just reading them and I was like, I love this series. And if somebody's like, which one's your favorite book? I'm like, what happens in each book? I don't know. So I was like 11 reading them. So anyways, TV over here not having read this.
Do you want to be my Jew?
Okay.
Lisa's like, can we stop talking about Jason too much?
Lisa's gonna get up and leave.
Goodbye.
She really
Gotta go.
is. No, she's gonna pull out like a random list, like a full-on like bullet journal spread as to why she hates Jace, and just like stamp it until we're done talking.
One of these should be hating Jace, like the theme for the whole like month of your reading journal.
Therese, it's just gonna be your that gif of you holding
With the little
the journal. I wish I could just play them during this live. Like anytime anything happened, just pull up the reaction gif. That
Got
would
the
be,
reaction memes.
yeah, that would be wonderful. That's what this is. But yeah, okay. So I guess we got through ratings. I'm just like trying to mentally remember the list we made, and I just can't get through.
I can pull it. I can get it.
Yeah, I think I screenshotted it.
I had it on my
Correct.
phone. I think we were gonna.
It's just a general discussion now, I think.
Phoebe, put that away.
Character.
Put it back.
Put it away. I did laugh because the pinned tweet on our Shadowhunters like Discord chat is like
Is that
me about the characters and how they're related, and that quote, and that's it. I'm like, all right, glad we have the important things.
I can't.
I don't want to.
You have that saved in a word.
he probably does?
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if TB had it memorized.
He copies it like every morning. He copies it so he can paste it whenever. Like, all
That's his tweet every morning. Good morning.
Bookmark it. That's fair.
That's-
You should have just said you had it memorized. It would have been more impressive.
yeah.
Let me pull it up. Okay. General discussion. That helps so much. Yeah, I guess we can just jump right into it. The incest.
I mean, yes,
We
we can.
Oh.
We can.
With that,
Why was it there? Why was it there?
Okay, do you mean the Grace and
Stop!
How do you kick somebody out of the chat?
For a bit.
I can block user. No, it's not even block. I can put him in timeout.
That's even better.
No.
This live show is just me crying because I can't talk about it.
We all
Okay.
advertise the live show as purely chaotic, so might as
Yeah,
well.
that's true. That's true.
People should
I
expect
think we're
it.
delivering on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
Grace
To the incest.
and Jesse, is that the incest subplot?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's concerning though that I was reading the book and I was like, oh, is this what people mean by incest plot points?
I was watching your reading vlog the other day, and I remember you got to like halfway through, and you were like, somebody mentioned an incest subplot, and like you thought it was gonna be Grace and
Kit.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Yes, because they're like you're like they are related. Like,
Like, I'm gonna be like their cousins.
is that it? Is that what it's gonna be?
The way that was
It's a little
wrong.
more obvious.
So bad.
No, she doesn't leave it up to the imagination. She just straight up went for the.
Yeah.
She was, she was like, yeah, I wanted you guys to be like together. And it was like, no.
It's like I just didn't know if like why that was there. Like, would Tatiana actually have wanted that? Because I thought she actually did like Grace as a daughter. But am I wrong? Like, did
I
y'all?
think
I think she likes using Grace for what she wants to get, but she actually likes Jesse.
As a
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that's also reiterated several times throughout the book when it's showing how she treats
Yeah.
Grace much worse than she treats Jesse.
Yeah.
And Grace is always like, yeah, my mom never actually cared about me, but I still wanted her validation.
Yeah. That was a lot of it. I think there was a point where she was like, you're not my daughter, you're my partner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or my weapon.
Past scenes from the past time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How do people feel about Grace now?
I still
do you
hate
feel
her.
differently?
Yeah, I still don't
I
like
still hate
her.
her. But like I understand what she's doing and why she's doing it, but like by now she's like what, 17, and she clearly has a very strong concept of right and wrong. Like however she did that, I don't know, but she did it. And she's still like, well, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I don't like her. It's still, I think I hate her more than anyone on the planet.
Wait, do you hate her more than I can't even remember her name? That one character from the Dark Artifices that
my
literally
God.
needs to like.
Zara Dearborn? No, I
Yes, her.
Oh, she's number one.
I think
Always.
she's like public enemy number one. And like Grace sucks, but
well, yeah, I don't think I feel more for Grace. I don't know. Like, I see why people do, but personally, I just don't.
yeah. I don't want to like her. I understand her motivations a little bit more now because of the backstory, but like I feel like she's gonna have that redemption arc, but I don't think I can ever like fully appreciate her as a character. Like I'm never gonna be like, yeah, Grace, love her. Like
Yeah, I don't think
Like,
anyone's really gonna be like that. I think it's more like just like learning about her character and seeing the backstory. I don't think it's ever gonna be like, wow, Grace.
Yeah.
Understand.
I started liking her in the second book, and then she kept doing like she just kept manipulating and just being like, well, I need to do this, instead of just like coming clean. And I was like, there's no redemption for you at this point. The only way you can redeem yourself is if you pull a Darth Vader and just die to save everyone. Like that's the only way you can redeem yourself.
Connor says I like the layers. I like
Yeah.
I like that she's interesting. Like I like that we question ourselves. Like, yes, I hate her, but I see why maybe I shouldn't. So I like that Cassie can write a character like that we can actually like look at it in different ways rather than just making everyone hate her and not giving her the layers. I guess.
Yeah.
She's a really good, like morally great character, I feel.
Yeah, I think it also makes the villain much stronger whenever they have layers like that, and that you can, when they're not completely evil or they have motivations for their, like, I don't like that one, the villains where it's like they're just evil for the sake of being evil. It's like, okay, but why? It's always a little bit more effective when the villain has their own tragic backstory.
You need to be also like second guess what they're doing. You need to be able to go like, oh, I can see why they're doing what they're doing. And if I was put in that position, I could kind of do it at the same time, but I know it's a bad decision. Yeah.
And that's completely Grace. Like, she had nothing else to do her whole life except follow what the only parent figure she had. So,
yeah, she had like no hope for being anything else.
Nothing.
Which is depressing. But
I'm just glad that she finally like admitted that she was not in love with James.
But then at the end, like, I thought she was gonna, you know, do something for herself for once when she like, shattered the mirror or whatever, and then she just shows up at James's house and thinks that he's still wearing the bracelet and just immediately falls back into that. And I'm like, no,
right?
Not what needs to happen here.
She talked about how like guilty she felt all the time, and then like when she got the opportunity, she was like, well.
Yeah, I think it was more so just like one last effort to not have to do what Tatiana wanted her to do in a weird, like the whole her and Jesse thing, her trying to be like, well, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to try one last time with James, and it didn't work.
The James plan,
yeah, but the whole Jesse Grace thing makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
when she let Tatiana really said that with her whole chest.
Yeah, I literally found.
I
found the part, and it's just
gonna be a thing. Like I think that
like, it wasn't like with Valentine where he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna mess with them," but they're not like, you know, I don't actually mean it. But no, with them, it was like her whole like entire being.
She I think it like says to Grace like seduce him, and I'm like.
Yeah, I think that might be
in
the
italics.
which Grace finally is set free, because like that's like the one thing she refuses to do. I'm hoping if she actually starts going through with it, I'm gonna be like, no, Grace is beyond redemption.
She loves Jesse like a brother. Like that's her only friend. So like I don't see that actually being a thing. And I don't know if Cassie said that to be like make Tatiana more of a villain, but
I think it's also like kind of showing how Tatiana really does not know anything about Grace. Like she thinks she knows Grace, but she doesn't, because she's making her do this thing where if she had known like that maybe this is what would set Grace off finally and like let her, you know, like set herself free or whatever, then she probably wouldn't have done it. But like she doesn't realize that because she's so like in her own plans and thinks that Grace is like this puppet. So
you put that back, Connor.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in timeout for this.
Nico, come here.
This was earlier, but I think it's accurate right now because Connor, how dare you? Yeah, not a good plot line.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the list again.
I refuse, as you should. As you should.
Yeah. I guess we can let the characters kind of, since we've already started with the characters, kind of, we can just start talking about the characters and see what happens.
Alistair. Did I say that too quickly? Alistair.
I found out the other day that Cassie had an event. It was one of her like several book tour events where if you like went, you got a book, like a copy of the book or whatever, and it was like a virtual event. And she had a conversation with somebody, I think it was a Canadian event, where she actually just talked about the Carstairs siblings and like their struggles in this book. And I was like, damn, I should have gone to that event because that sounds perfect.
Can we put Connor in timeout?
Yeah. Not a good deal yet. Why would you go for Tatiana? Like, that's my question.
Yeah.
I put him in timeout. Wait, I can't. I thought I could untime out him, but I can't.
No, go 5 minutes.
I feel so bad. I thought I could just put him in and take him back out, but it's like a 5-minute thing and I can't bring him back.
We're just gonna get a spam of messages from Connor the Discord.
He deleted all his messages in the chat.
Are you serious? No!
We're gonna get a strike like on his YouTube channel.
I'm so sad. Oh my gosh. Wow. Never doing that again. Wow.
Sorry, Connor. Like,
I don't think he can hear us. Oh my gosh.
Should someone message the? Hold on, Connor.
Stop being cyberbullied.
Oh no!
You just like Thanos snapped him out of existence.
This plan is
You can hear everything. It's just goddamn amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my eyes are watering.
Okay. No.
Okay. He said he can still hear us. He just can't comment. So that makes me feel slightly better.
Well, hearing this, we're sorry. We won't do it again. Unless you say something like that again. Then we
Then
Learn your
Yeah,
lesson.
unless you blaspheme again.
It's like that Taylor Swift lyric. Now go sit in the corner and think about what.
yes.
Hello, Leah.
Hello.
Yay. Now I know Leah hasn't like read this, so Leah, what are you doing here?
Rip. It's so funny.
Oh my god, I need a moment.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Smart.
Okay.
Yay.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you guys.
We're muted. We're just
Yeah.
okay. I get it.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
Back to the characters. Alistair.
I really loved Alistair.
Favorite.
Alistair made me cry every single time he was on page. From like Chain of Gold to like Chain of Iron, I was just like, Alistair.
Yeah, I really
Chain
loved
of Gold. He was like okay in Chain of Gold. Like I didn't pay too much attention to him then. Like I was like, I think I felt for his like cultural struggle stuff the most, but
Yeah, same.
it was like one of my complaints. I was like, why is Alistair bleaching his hair? Like, why is Cordelia redheaded? Like, it was just finding things to hate. But I think second book really like you get a lot more of Alistair and his struggles and how he affects the other characters and just like the whole thing that he's been going through this entire time. And I'm like, every character is just like stab you in the heart.
Like from the minute Alistair was like shown in Chain of Gold, I was like, I kind of hate him, but then at the same time I like felt for him because of like eldest Brown sibling vibes. And then him just like not liking the fact that he has like dark hair, like dark skin and dark eyes when he's like surrounded by like all these very fair-skinned people. So I was like, I understood him on a very personal level. And then the ending of Chain of Gold happened, and I was like,
yeah, and it's like you think that he's lashing out just because of the fact that he was, this kid being bullied in school. But then you realize there's so much other stuff going on at the same time that he's also dealing with. And I'm like, yes, that sucks. And like what happened because of your actions also sucks. But I can't. It's like the difference between getting Grace's backstory and getting Alistair's backstory is like with Alistair, it's like his backstory helps you forgive him, whereas with Grace, it explains it, but it doesn't excuse it. And I think it doesn't excuse Alistair's actions, but I think that the people who were affected by his actions now have the ability to decide whether or not that makes up for his actions in the future.
Yeah, it kind of like, it doesn't excuse his behavior, but it explains it in a way that makes it easier, like puts them in a better gives him a better perspective as to why he was the way that he was. And that if like things had been different, then maybe they wouldn't have been friends, but like Alistair would have been a bit more palatable for them to really like comprehend throughout the years, instead of just seeing this kind of bully who kind of basically sort of ruined someone's life. But
I don't know if it was in Chain of Iron, I can't remember, but when he actually kind of gave his explanation to Thomas, did he like actually say like it was either I get bullied or I like become the bully? And
it was Thomas or yeah,
it was okay. So like that, I don't know. I just feel like he's getting a good arc to where he's realizing it and like he knows that it's wrong and he wishes he could take it back, because he was just trying so hard to be their friend, or not to even be their friends, but just to get them to stop. Okay, I love Thomas and Alistair also together. I really do. I was rooting for them. I've loved them ever since like we got the Paris thing. I don't. Is that in Ghost of the Shadow Market, Ermine?
No, it's
in Chain of Gold.
It's in the main books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we also get a little bit of them at the actual academy. Whenever like you see that Thomas, when he was all tiny and stuff, would just follow
him around. Yeah.
Which because he made a reference to that, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then they like go back and show you, and it's like, "Wow, okay."
Also, hi Connor, welcome back. We're sorry.
Hello. Back.
Never doing that again. That was a long 5 minutes.
Yeah, I also like the fact that even though they know, like Alex like gave his side of the story and everyone understands it, he's not expecting forgiveness right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Whereas I feel like if Grace sat everyone down and explained it, she'd be like, "Okay, well, forgive me now."
Yeah.
No. And I think a lot, one of the main character arcs in Chain of Iron is each of the characters individually finding forgiveness for Alistair.
Mm-hmm.
And so like
Alistair finding a way to forgive himself.
Yeah, that too, because I think the last of it is Matthew, and the fact that Alistair doesn't even know what happened because of his actions. Like, he knows that Matthew hates him for this, but he doesn't know why. And I think that if in Chain of Thorns he finds out, that's going to make his forgiveness for himself even harder, because Matthew already hates himself for what he did. And if Alistair finds out that he had a role in that, then it's going to be like, oh gosh. Because I think because Alistair already has a younger sister, and because of Alistair, partially, Matthew is not able to have a younger sister. It's going to like...
Well, it's kind of like, what if, like, he feels extra bad and they have, like, a scene when Sonia, when she has the baby and Alistair's helping with his new sibling, and then he finds out that he had the part in Matthew's sibling, and then he's, like, feels bad because he has his new sibling and Matthew lost his sibling.
I would sob.
And the fact that he's like an older sibling himself and like went through all these lengths to protect Cordelia from the truth for so long, only to be like, while I was in this process, I ended up hurting, and therefore Matthew was unable to protect his future sibling.
And do you all think that that's like a fair thing? Like, I don't know, because I don't know if Matthew, like, if that actually has merit. Like, did Alistair actually cause that? Like, I don't know.
Not exactly. I think it was more so that Alistair was one of the main people furthering that rumor that then got stuck in Matthew's mind and led him to do whatever he did. But then you find out in, I guess, like, maybe slight spoiler, but, like, not totally, for Ghost of the Shadow Market. So just, like, I'm gonna hold up my hand. I guess you also find out that the lady who sold Matthew the potion in the first place already had a vendetta against certain people, and that's why she kind of chose to do that. So it wasn't even like anybody's fault, really. Like, there were little actions that happened, but in the end you can't really blame any one of them for what happened.
Yeah,
because it was an
I think Matthew hating Alistair is just like a reflection of his guilt, more or less. Because like in reality, like, if like Matthew was a bit more like older and a bit more level-headed when the incident happened, he probably would have just gone up to Charlotte and asked the question, because Matthew's a very blunt person. But I think that because Matthew grew up with Alistair having helped the situation that when it happened, he kind of was like, well, if Alistair didn't do this, so then therefore I will blame Alistair, even though he was the one.
I think he realizes that as well when he's talking to Cordelia. When he finally confesses to Cordelia, he says, I hate myself more than I could ever hate Alistair for what happened. And I think he realizes that it's just a manifestation of his own guilt towards himself, but it's kind of like an armor. It's like he already hates himself so much, but if he didn't have a little bit of this projection towards Alistair, it would be so much worse for him. So yeah, it's just a big...
It's a mess.
Ouch. It's a big ouch.
Y'all want to just move on to Matthew, or...
Yeah, sure.
Wait, hold on. Before we move on, let's just talk about the fact that Alistair was Thomas's secret. Okay, let's go on.
I don't even know.
Well, you remember the part where they were stuck in the sanctuary together, and Alistair was talking about how his secret was like his being gay, and then Thomas was like, you were my secret, because his friends would accept the fact that he was gay, but then they wouldn't accept the fact that he liked Alistair.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just Matthew that wouldn't. Like, I feel like Kit and James would be like, okay. I mean, James would have to. That's his brother as well.
I don't think Kit would care.
He wouldn't
I don't
know.
think
He's there.
Say like a slightly disappointed what ho, but then be happy for his.
Yeah. No, he would like remember whenever Alistair came up at some point and they like got mad at him and Kit was like, so we hate Alistair again? When did that happen?
He's just confused.
He's like, I don't know what's going on, guys.
Can't keep up.
He just wants to blow stuff up or make things that won't blow up.
Oh my gosh, the number of references to like him blowing up the academy whenever you see Ragnar fell, like the thing that she sent in the newsletter and I was reading it and she's like, and then there's Christopher Lightwood, the worst Lightwood of them all. He literally ran away from London because he didn't want to see Christopher Lightwood. Like,
and the comment about how like, oh yeah, well Thomas can't help, or like they're working on something and Thomas isn't nearly out of eyebrow hair.
Yeah. Okay. He's a what ho. Like it gets me every time. So Matthew.
Yes, back to Matthew.
Oh gosh. Where do we even start?
Nobody has anything to say. I'm like, Lisa, you don't have anything to say about Matthew?
I have too much to say. That's the problem.
Start us off.
Well,
to begin.
Okay, here's the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I know we're probably going to talk about predictions later on, maybe, for like the next book.
I guess so. I mean, if you have something and you want to work it in, go for it.
Well, I just think Matthew's going to die in the next book, and I
Put
hope
it away. Put it away, or put it away. Just full on Mike was out saying, put that thing back where it came from, or I swear.
Andrea and I
thinking about it.
Hour discussing this one point, so we will have to get to this.
Yeah.
Put that thing back where it came
We'll
from.
put it away for now.
I don't like Matthew's alcohol problem. It's like not getting better and no one's helping him. And I don't think it's gonna get better just with Cordelia and Paris. And so I don't know what's going on with him.
I think Matthew's gonna have to do like the psychological thing and like he's gonna hit rock bottom before he gets any better. Because James doesn't bring it up. He's always like, it's just that one secret that we never mentioned. And I'm like, boy, that's your paradigm.
You gotta.
I'm not gonna lie.
Literally, everyone is like, they see it, but they don't want to say anything about it because nobody ever says anything about it because that's like the one thing that they don't talk about. Like everybody knows, but nobody says anything about it except Lucy, who is the only one who ever brings it up. And I think that the whole thing with like Cordelia and Matthew and Paris, like, I don't think that they would be a good fit just because nothing against Matthew, but I think that it's very toxic for her to be with someone who reminds her too much of her father and his own alcohol problems because that's such a complicated thing. But like, yeah, exactly. And it's not up to her to kind of fix Matthew. Like he has a problem, he needs help, and he needs to get that help. Like people need to start paying attention to it and see which, is wrong and why that's happening. But like, yeah, it's just a big mess.
I think his last lifeline will be Cordelia in the third book. Like there's something's gonna happen to where they have a big blow up and like Cordelia brings up his alcoholism and then it blows up even more and then Cordelia leaves and dissolves their friendship. And then that's where Matthew's like hits rock bottom and realizes that if he does not try to fix it or find help or start discussing why he's an alcoholic in the first place, he will lose literally everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance she could be the one that like gets through to him to like actually start getting better.
Yeah. I think because they always kind of like compare it to Cordelia's father and his alcoholism. Because Matthew's younger, they're just seeing it as him being like young and wild and just having a good time, but not actually realizing that it's more than that. So I think that's the problem about it and all. Yeah.
And agree, Connor, you can't. Sorry.
Oh, no. I think that like with part of the plot with who's the killer and all that stuff, I really felt like she set it up to where it could be so many different characters, but Matthew to me is just so like unhinged and he got his own apartment and he was like alone a lot and he's like nobody's always checking up on him. And so for a while I was like maybe it is Matthew because like he's just not well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the whole murder plot thing, I can't believe like in my vlog, I literally sat there the whole time being like, it could be this person or it could be this person.
You guessed everyone.
I thought it would be way too obvious that it would be like going into the book. I was like, well, it's either going to be the two villains, like hello. So, but then the way it was set up, I was like, okay, is it going to be someone that we're not expecting? So then I started guessing everyone else, and then it was.
I didn't even bother guessing. I opened, like the very first chapter where you see him killing somebody.
Mhm.
I thought that it was Belial either possessing James or Belial taking like the form of James to like convict him for it without actually possessing him. And so I thought it was Belial like the whole time. I just couldn't figure out how it was him. And then I just stopped trying. I was just kind of reading it.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was Thomas, and then it wasn't. He just got arrested. I thought Thomas was gonna die. I thought he was gonna go out and patrol.
So did I.
And I was like, "You dumb. Why are you doing this?"
I thought he was
But yeah,
I thought it could have been Tatiana at one point because I think it's at the wedding where she kind of like embodies or like takes over the body of
Yeah, I thought it was
maid or
her for a
something.
minute
So I was like,
too,
oh, it
yeah.
could be her. She could do that to just like a random person or whatever.
Right.
But then again, I was like, when they played into the whole like James thing, I was like, it could be, but it's a bit obvious and it probably isn't. And then it kind of made sense at the end. But yeah,
it's kind of funny that Grace and Lucy were like visiting nightly. Like they were going to Jesse's body like every other night, and they didn't even notice until like he was covered in rouge. Why did it take them so long?
I had an inkling it might have been Jesse around like the beginning, just because they mentioned that like Belial couldn't take a form, and then for him to have to like possess someone, I was like, well, I feel like if someone's going to possess anyone, there's going to be some resistance, and what's easier to possess than like a body that's technically empty.
Yeah.
Then I was right.
I did not think about Jesse at all.
I had no thoughts, head empty. I just guessed everyone.
I did not think about that, and it made so much sense. I was like, oh, like, what is the person going to do with all the runes? Like, I don't know. What's he collecting them for?
yeah, I thought it was like Tatiana getting the runes for Jesse, but then obviously it was instead.
I mean, it kind of was indirectly.
Yeah.
So Tatiana like didn't realize what was happening either. It was just Belial straight up.
I really thought that it was just something trying to take the runes and like put them on a demon. I don't even know. My brain was just not
just collecting them, having a little store.
I guess I'm kind of dipping into prediction territory again, but what do you guys think of the fact that we didn't really get any answer about why James was seeing the things in the first place?
I think it's his connection with Belial, maybe.
But like it wasn't explained.
I mean,
and normally it is in books when they don't give you a conclusive answer. It always means something else.
Wait, what did you say, Armin? I didn't hear the whole thing.
It was like James was kind of seeing visions of the murders while they were happening, or like after they were happening, and he confronts Belial about it, and Belial's like, I don't know why that's happening. Like, I don't know, you're weird.
It's like, I don't know, that's kind of weird.
But like we never figure out why, because like Belial's not like, haha, I was showing them to you, because James like confronts him about, he's like, you were showing me visions, you want me to go crazy, like what's up? And he's like, I don't care about you, like that's not what's happening here.
I wonder if Lilith had a hand in it.
I was just gonna say that.
Ooh.
Because like she had like manipulated so many different parts of that bit, especially with like Cordelia. So I feel like it would make sense for like maybe her to manipulate something of James as well.
I think that might come back in the last book, like this is the last piece of the puzzle I was manipulating, and I was manipulating James so that, like, to Cordelia, like, she knows that Cordelia loves James, and she knows that if James is going through all of this and Cordelia's going to want to help, and then she's going to end up judging herself like this, and then...
But from the very beginning, like, the opening, like, prologue or something is from Belil's...
Oh, yeah.
And the last line was, like, something like, I know my target, James Herondale, and Cordelia Carstairs. But
that's one of the first things
the killer never actually tried to kill them. Like, so
yeah, it says soon he would be strong enough to take on his true enemies. As he turned to leave the alley, he whispered their names under his breath. So at least we know it was he the whole time. Damn it.
Like, he hadn't gotten there yet. Like, he wasn't going to take them on until he knew he was strong enough to take them on.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
and then at the end, when he does confront them,
like the battle scene, the final inch.
Sorry, what?
Oh, like I guess he kind of did then, and the final battle when he would go against them. Okay, well,
and then he wasn't able to defeat them just because Cordelia had pledged herself. So like she was able to hold her own long enough for Lucy to show up and get in the way.
Y'all wanna go on to like Thomas and Kit, and then we'll save like James and Cordelia for the end because I feel like there's just so much for them. But Thomas and Kit, like, the subplot, so we can just kind of connect them together. Yeah. When Thomas went to Alistair to tell him he was sorry about his dad, and he just like shows up and like does nothing, and then he leaves.
He just walks away.
I so thought something was gonna get steamy from there, just because like Thomas showed up soaking wet. What? And like they already mentioned how like Thomas is like built and like muscular, so I was like steamy. And then Alistair's already kind of frustrated and pent up, so I was like, they're both frustrated, so why wouldn't this turn into like something where they need to blow off steam? Yeah. And then it didn't, and I was just like, damn it.
I mean, I wish she'd left it like that. But then later on, you find out that Thomas didn't even go to see Alistair. He actually went to go see Cordelia because he's like, we're friends. Let me go pay my respects. And then like he opens the door and he's like,
what do I do?
Oh, Thomas definitely had a crush. He was just crushing on him.
Yeah, but it was like complicated because he's like, I'm supposed to hate you. Like, I don't understand what to do.
Thomas was a little emo this entire book, like very emo this entire book.
Like the entire reasoning behind him going on patrol by himself is like he feels guilty that he couldn't do anything about Barbara, and now he wants to like do something. Okay, go get yourself killed or arrested. Jeez, okay. These self-destructive children, I can't deal with them.
They stress me out.
Oh my gosh.
They're just too impulsive, and I'm sitting here like several years older than them, like, no, you're gonna be tucked into bed at 9 p.m. Safe where no one can touch you.
He left James and Cordelia's house after Anna had just told him, like, hey, don't leave, like, let's just stay here.
I was like, okay, fine.
He didn't even like make sure he like didn't go out. That was so frustrating.
I love the Merry Thieves, but I feel like in terms of like looking out for one another in their personal lives, they're really bad at it. They're so bad at it.
Yeah. They're like, we're best friends, but then it's like, oh, do you know like where Thomas is? And they're like, no.
Do you know where's Matthew moved out? What?
They're like, have you ever been to Matthew's? No, never.
He moved out like a little bit stupid.
Yeah.
So,
it's like the way they're all supposedly so connected. It's like Kit is always at Matthew's house, and then like Matthew is always with James, and then Thomas is like always somewhere in there, and yet they had no idea that Matthew moved out of his house. They had no idea that Grace like showed up at the laboratory and then left with something. They had no idea that Lucy has been sneaking out in the middle of the night. And I'm just like, okay, like parents, you used to do all of this, so like, you keep an eye on your kids.
Right, and it's I say this lovingly, but I blame the fact that James is their leader of the group as to why they're all so clueless all the time. Like if you have a clueless leader, everyone else is gonna follow into.
I guess his half-life that he was living since he's 14 years old has an impact on everyone else.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I wonder. Okay, but no, I'm not gonna get into this yet because we're not on James yet. But yeah.
Thomas. Anything else about Thomas? He's kind of we love him though.
He stressed me out. He stressed me out.
I think the way I made my Chain of Gold family tree video before I finished my reread of Chain of Gold and then read Chain of Iron, and I was like, Thomas, I don't know anything about him. Like, he's really tall, and that's a big deal for some reason. Like, he was really small, and now he's really tall. That's about it. And then we get to like, and then I was like, he's like one of the Lightwoods. Not that I can tell them apart anyway.
Yeah.
And I finally figured out who Anna belonged to. Like, it took me 2 books to figure out who Anna's like younger siblings were.
I love that all of what we are saying is basically in the intro to that thing that Cassie sent out, the penultimate hours thing. Whenever Ragnar is talking about all of them, and he's literally like talking about the Lightwoods, like, not that I can tell any of them apart. An entire group of Nephilim youngsters are running absolutely wild. Yeah. He goes through them like one by one. He's like, there's also the question of the Lightwoods. Do not ask me which Lightwoods belong to which branch of the family, for I do not know and have little interest in finding out. I find London to be overly blessed with Lightwoods.
Overly blessed. Amazing.
Honestly,
At least he said blessed and not cursed.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think he meant cursed. Yeah. We love Ragnar.
Kit is just whenever he gave the Pythos, whatever, I knew that wasn't Matthew. Like, I knew it wasn't Matthew. I called it. It just was weird. And then Kit not telling anyone about Grace and him not questioning Grace, just showing up.
I think she memorized
I memorized it. No, I have it pulled up in another tab because I wasn't done reading it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I just, this is just in my head. Oh, thank you, Casey. Tag and all.
They are really cute.
They're very cool.
It's just because I'm not like other girls. I'm kidding.
Not square or circle.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like Kit is the product of when you put too much brain into someone, because then they don't think. They don't think.
Too many thoughts and empty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's so smart, but he doesn't. He's like, okay, I feel like I really relate to Kit because I feel like when people used to talk about me, they would like say that I was like book smart, but I was not street smart. I was like very street dumb. It's because I knew a lot about like random things, but then like real life stuff, I'm like, huh? What's going on?
Huh?
I relate to Kit because I like, well, where he says "what ho" and disappoint in various tones, I just speak gibberish in different tones and people kind of understand.
Like, huh?
Like,
yeah, I feel like we all relate to him a little bit.
I feel like he and Grace are probably going to have a little. They probably won't be endgame, but they might have a little thing.
Well,
they might be endgame.
So it's on like the family tree thingy that she put on the inside dust jacket of Clockwork Princess. It has them married on that. But she also said not to trust that. But I'm also like, did she say not to trust it because that's real and she doesn't want to spoil the series?
I'm gonna wait for Andrew to get back because we talked about this. We found like a bunch of the issues with that family tree, so we know like why, like partially why she said don't follow it, because some of the stuff is just completely wrong. But then it makes you wonder like how much of it is wrong and what isn't wrong, because the way she's hinting at it in Chain of Iron, I feel like that's too much. Like, it's so late in the game that if she was to make it a thing in Chain of Thorns, like, why wouldn't it end up being a thing, you know? Because I see no reason for her to kill off Kit except for sadness purposes. Like, if she was to do that, you know? Like, it wouldn't do much to the story in my head if she was to kill off Kit. Or Grace. Like, I guess Grace a little bit more if she did kill her off after giving her, like, a redemption thing. But I feel like there needs to be enough time for them to, like, have a thing before she ends the thing. You know?
I agree.
Yeah. I think that, I agree, because it did happen really late, and it was like a really, like, I don't want to say like a big scene, but it was a long scene where like Grace mentions that she's actually interested in what he's saying, and like she wants to hear more, and the fact that like Kit also goes on his own tangent later to be like, no one ever listens to me, but Grace was really interested and just want to keep telling her stuff. I was like,
he's such a baby.
He just wants to talk about his science stuff, and Grace is like apparently a budding scientist or whatever, except she's like fancy, but whatever.
I think that if they're not endgame, which I feel like they probably are not because it's too late for them to develop that, then maybe my initial thing where I was like, the only way to really redeem Grace is to have her pull a Darth Vader. Maybe she'll pull a Darth Vader and save Kit because she's having feelings for him. And then that'll be the redeeming quality, because like you can't redeem yourself if you like, there's no way you can't not redeem yourself if you save Kit from something.
That's true. Suddenly I would love her if she did that.
If they're not like endgame, I feel like maybe she'll leave it like, you know, where there's a possibility of something more, where it's like they're on
like open-ended kind of.
Yeah, like they're kind of like getting into it a little bit, but nothing has happened. Which, I mean, I guess I wouldn't be super opposed to. I don't want to read like Grace being happy, but like, you know, I liked that version of Grace better than manipulative Grace. So, I mean, you know.
I also wish that Cassie did kind of bring up, like, make Grace have more, like, interests outside, because her mentioning, like, she, like, was interested in science and all that stuff just felt a little out of, like, left field.
Yeah. And I guess it's also partially because Grace doesn't even realize that she likes half this stuff because she's never let herself look at it. Like, she wasn't allowed to have hobbies. Like, she kind of started okay, one thing I did realize, completely out of left field. Backstory, yeah, like, she's been training with Jessie for a while.
Yeah.
And then whenever she's at that big battle where Lucy calls up all of London's dead or whatever to like save Cordelia, and they're like fighting the demons or whatever, and Grace is just standing there like, I'm sorry, nobody taught me anything. I've never trained in my life. I don't know how to fight. And it's like, why? Because apparently she's been training with her dead brother for like 10 years. So
I feel like it might be to push that like very dainty, like protect her kind of thing, because James is very much his father in the sense that he would save everyone who can't save themselves. And if Grace can play to that, then dang it, you basically will win over half the Herondale line.
Yeah. They like having someone to save. But the good thing is they also like whenever the person they're trying to save doesn't need to be saved. So Also, Connor, I don't think that's completely off the table. I don't.
No, put that back.
I'm gonna hide this.
Everyone's gonna die. Like,
yeah. Andrea, I was waiting for you to get back so we could talk about the family tree, because Lisa mentioned that Kit and Grace were like supposedly married on that family tree, but how we went through like the entire thing and we were like, wait.
We broke everything down. We really did.
Yeah, so my first big thing was that Cordelia's mother was not Persian on that family tree. She's some random like white Shadowhunter name.
Yeah. And then too, that on the family tree that Thomas his death date was before Barbara's.
Yeah. He's like dead and gone like way before Barbara.
He was like what, 30 or something like that?
Yeah, like they all lived like longer, but Barbara
they all lived.
And then we read through like the story of like the end of Will's life, where all of the people are like clustered around, and we were like going through it, and it was like Cecily's blue-eyed boys, and we were like, which boys? There's Anna, and then there's Alex. There's only, and then Christopher has purple eyes, so it's like that doesn't count.
It doesn't make sense. And I was just like, how did Cassie not care? Like, she just made the decision to just forget about the ending of that and everything she said.
Fan service.
That's crazy to me.
I feel like with the clockwork. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that she was like, this is kind of the end of this like past events, and we don't have to really worry about it. And then she never thought about like what other big events could happen that could like domino effect down the future lines into like Chain of Iron. And then she was like, well,
I keep writing this. Like, I'm glad. I think that if she had stuck to it, like it might have, like you couldn't kill off as many characters, because then it's like some of them were at the deathbed, you know, and it's like, oh, but they're still alive, and like, you know, stuff happens. You know, it's in the works, Connor. It's happening at some point.
Do you know how long that would take?
It's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure probably like after the last book is done and we know who's
just like
who's alive and who's died, then we can sit down and like.
But it's like we finished talking about Kit, for the most part. I think, what did we just move on to before the family tree thing?
Head empty.
Well, we were going to go James and Cordelia, I think, right?
Yeah, James and Cordelia.
Yep.
Okay. He is so
We're ready
stupid.
to unpack.
So we're gonna talk about them now.
Now.
I mean, I could shove it down again for a later time. I brought it up.
Patrice, let it out.
He spent the entire 2 books going, oh yeah, Cordelia's such a great friend. She's so great. And then he's sitting here in the second book like, I fashioned the entire house to have Persian parts so she can feel like more herself. Here's her family crest. Here's a globe necklace. And then it's like, but she's a friend. And I just...
Teresa got so excited she froze.
She's so stupid.
Oh, she's gone.
Wait.
I don't know how.
From the very beginning, with the wedding, okay, Cassie just delivered in this book by giving us the wedding, the fake marriage.
I don't know how.
Are you back, Therese?
What is going on? There. Are you crying? No.
Can you hear us?
Are you okay? Is she not okay? Where's Nico, her cat? Can someone check on it?
You guys are glitching. It's I just keep talking. I can hear. You guys are just frozen, but keep talking.
Okay.
I got so angry my computer just gave up.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm back.
It's 15 seconds delayed.
Is it?
On her end, I think.
No, she's just laughing.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. We're good. You guys are good. You guys aren't lagging. We're good. Just keep going. Keep going.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so what I wanted to say was, this is not about James, but I just want to bring it up because when Jem played the violin at the wedding, I couldn't even speak.
I was sobbing. I was like, this is okay. We're not even that far into it, and I'm already crying. Not good.
I didn't expect it, and then it was just a nice surprise. And he just had to be outside and play his violin, and I just love Jem. Yeah, favorite character from Chain of Iron, Jem.
My brain literally lagged when I read those lines because I was like, oh, that's nice. It's a violin, and then it was the loading screen in my brain for a minute, trying to figure out why the violin was such an important part, and then it was like, oh.
I'm sorry. I was trying to find the violin scene. And I ended up flipping to my tab about the mermaid.
They're so chaotic. Such a mess.
I was actually laughing out loud for a full 5 minutes when I read that scene. She came down and I thought it was gonna be something oh, they're all gaping because the mermaid's really pretty or something. And then it was she had a fish face.
Oh
my gosh.
I ended up reading that boyfriend while he was playing video games after we were watching The Bachelor, and he was like, Therese, I need you to stop. This is making me really uncomfortable.
I remember you saying that in the chat. You were like, I just read it out loud to my boyfriend and he said, please stop.
Put that away.
His voice, he didn't make eye contact. He was avoiding eye contact and just staring at his video game, and he's very quiet. He was like, please stop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Jem first. Oh my gosh. Every time we get a Jem reference, it's just ouch, but also yes.
Hurts so much. Just hurts.
Also,
I love the Jem references. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just said we love Brother Snack.
Yep.
We do.
I love all the I sing. I love all the Jem references, but then it hurts, but then I can kind of I can relax because I know what happens down the line, and then every time Will pops up, I'm like, because Because then they're not together.
You can't have them both happy at the same time.
Just pain.
All we know
Yeah.
is just a babe.
But James like spends the entire time so oblivious of his own freaking head. Like I can't even hate him for it anymore, because in Chain of Gold, I was like, James, get over yourself. Like, you know, freaking figure it out. But then the number of times in Chain of Iron where he like tries and like it just doesn't work. He's like, let me take off the bracelet. And then like it just slips his mind. And he's like, let me take off the bracelet. And it's like, no, you can't take it off.
And I feel like it's so traumatic, like to his self, to his brain, like just going against his own will every day, every second, like any little thing, like taking off a bracelet, like. And so when he finally yelled at Grace and like let it all out, that it was so good. Like
I wish that scene could have been longer, but like he didn't even get the chance to like
It
get
was
it
so
all
cathartic to read.
Yeah.
I wish it had been longer though, because he says that one line where he's like, I've been living a half-life for like half my life because of you. And I didn't even know like what was going on this whole time. And then he just has to leave because
when he's like, you consume my will over and over again.
Andrew has that memorized.
My memory. It really like hit me, like how we can joke and like say how much James is an idiot, but like when it comes to that and like his feelings for Cordelia, he literally was fighting it like every second and like not knowing why he felt like this to Cordelia. And it's just so bad. And so his character is like deep because of that, I feel like.
Because like the one that we've been seeing isn't even like the real James. And now James is realizing that. And he's like, who am I? Like, how much of me was fabricated because of you?
And then now he kind of has to pick up the pieces of his like own personal relationships, because like he wasn't himself for so long.
Mm-hmm. Metaphors. Yeah. Like I can't even hate Jace anymore. I mean, not Jace. Oh my god. I can still hate James. Lisa's like, I can. I can't even hate James. Like I feel like Chain of Iron just ranked him up several rankings, not necessarily against anybody, just against himself. Like he just
say against himself.
Objectively better. And the fact that he did everything he did while he was wearing the bracelet, it makes
like
me
I mean
think,
he
like,
was
Zoom times, everyone.
He wasn't like my favorite. Like I wasn't obsessed with him like I would be with like Julian or when I liked Jace or Jem. But like once we got more into it and like look, I do really like him.
Mm-hmm. I think
that
he's done a lot. Like that you find out in Chain of Iron. It's like the whole, like the amount of thought that he put in behind the scenes for Cordelia is just like so much. And it's like he did all of this not even really
so much.
They just did it better back then, I guess. I don't know. Like Jace could never. What did he do? All Jace did was
Stop.
Connor is gonna have to go back in time out if he keeps doing it. Yeah, I'm gonna look this up so we can remember.
No, why do you keep
we can remember?
We don't need to remember.
You make it sound like you forget. TB like posts it once a week.
Yeah. You don't get to
never forget.
No. I don't know. James just okay, and then there's the part that they're not actually married, like because they didn't complete their runes, and that keeps me up at night.
That stresses me out. Okay, here's what stresses me out.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna pull out a visual.
Oh no, she's getting her MLA sources.
Here's the thing. this is like Cordelia's dress, right? She wears dresses like this. The marriage rune is, Andrew's like, I need the other source. The marriage rune is like supposed to be here somewhere, right? Has nobody noticed that it's not there?
And
like
they
they're so
expressed
caught up with
that.
everything else that they just somehow missed the fact that her marriage rune isn't on her chest. Like,
I don't know.
they're like, well, we just.
I mean, no one knew Matthew moved out, so it'd be surprised.
It's very true.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're all a little stupid, so you know,
No,
hard to get things by them. I think.
it's not like they've even seen Will and Tessa because they're gone.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I don't know. I need it to sort itself out. Like, I need them to have like a proper marriage.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be something that happens at the end of Chain of Thorns. Like, we need some actual domesticity before they're dead. Like,
the beginning of this book, like when we got to see James and Cordelia living like a married couple, and like how happy James was in that, and just to be with her and in their study, like their room, and they play chess and read books, and the way he described it, it just makes me think that James might die and they're never going to get that where he did.
I don't
think Cassandra's going to kill off a Herondale.
I'm not going to jinx this, but I don't think she'll do it.
It's a cardinal sin.
Yeah, I don't think she'll do it because, like, her track record so far is, like, not killing off the main couple. No matter what happens, like, they always end up together.
Yeah.
I
don't even think she'll kill off Lucy because she's a Herondale for right now. So I don't think that she'll do that.
I don't think Lucy is dead, but apparently that's a thing.
I think she is.
Well, she like passed out at the end of the book.
I don't think
and then
she's
we
dead.
never saw her again.
That's true.
They took her with them. That means she's not dead.
But I was always confused. Yeah. I'm kind of confused about that. So, like,
I think she might be like in a Jessie-like coma.
Well, like Jessie came back to life, kind of, and then she was like, "Okay, bye." So I don't know if they like switched or I don't know. I don't know.
Because like Ragnar, Malcolm. No,
Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Malcolm mentioned that like for you to bring someone back from the dead, you have to do something of equal like merit. So like I feel like since Jessie wasn't exactly dead, I feel like maybe it put her in that coma.
Mm.
You know,
like a spirit during the nighttime. And then
it would have been so much better for everyone if Malcolm had just used Tatiana instead of doing all the stuff later in the Dark Artifices. Like, he needs to figure himself out like a few hundred years earlier, and he can have Blackthorn blood, no problem. Like, take them, whatever. I don't care.
Oh god, yeah, I didn't expect the whole thing with the Annabelle thing, but I guess I get it because it's giving us like extra background for the Dark Artifices. But I didn't expect that. I was like, what? Why do we already know? Why are we doing this?
It also made it worse on Grace's end because she was kind of the reason that he freaked out in the first place. Grace ruining everything.
Grace back at it again.
With the disappointment.
Literally traumatized. Already traumatized man.
Yeah.
She said, let me just tell you in the worst possible.
Yeah, and then she was like, well, wouldn't he want to know the truth? I'm like, not like that.
Not like that.
Yeah.
He's like, who are you? She's like, I don't understand how my brother loves you. Surprise, he doesn't.
And for Cordelia, I was frustrated with how much she wanted to be a hero, and then she like got her spirit crushed when the whole Lilith thing was revealed. So I just I feel like it's gonna be frustrating in the next book.
I think out of everything that happened, that was like the least impactful thing for me. Because the whole Waylon the Smith thing in the first place was so like nebulous.
Out there, yeah.
It was just like, oh, they went there and they met this guy who's like essentially God, like, and he just said, "Here, be my paladin. Here's a magic sword. I'll fix it for you." Like, okay. It just felt very video game quest like. It was like, sword is broken. Go to Waylon the Smith.
Yeah.
Talk to NPC. Get sword fixed. yeah, here's a follow-up quest. And then it was like, surprise, you've been betrayed. Do-do-do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like whenever, like, this was what I was saying earlier with Grace and Tatiana being, like, complicated villains. I don't like whenever the main villains are just these all-powerful beings because, like, it literally doesn't matter. Like, Lilith and Belial and all, they're just evil. Like, for what reason? They're just evil, you know? And, like, I like we get a little bit with Belial with, like, them talking about how they're always in agony because they're, like, disconnected from the divine or whatever. But then you have Lilith and she's just, like, being Lilith, and it's like they're just playing this big old cosmic chess game, and why, you know?
Yeah, they just want a realm.
Yeah,
that like plot twist kind of reminded me of like the plot twist in Queen of Air and Darkness with like the parallel like universes. I feel like it was just too large of a concept to insert into like a book in such a short time.
Yeah, it's like I really liked the whole concept stuff with them splitting the clave and having all that political stuff that reflect everything going on like in real life, and it was really cool and deep. And then you have this entire thing with the parallel universe, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I was reading that one short story in Ghosts of the Shadow Market. I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but it kind of dealt with that, and I'm just really confused because like it's just so big and like out there. I don't understand.
Yeah. And it wasn't like set up in previous books, like to have like Belial and like Lilith pop in like and then like toward the end of the second books as like being like, yeah, look at what we did, we messed up everything. It just felt like it was like there wasn't enough build up for it, and then like so the surprise and the like the surprise behind it for me was just kind of like, what is this?
And then I guess it doesn't even do anything later in terms of, oh, yeah, like a couple hundred years ago, Belial and Lilith showed up and they screwed everything up. It's like in the Mortal Instruments, you have Lilith again, and that has later. But then this appearance of Lilith, like, nobody talks about what Cordelia did because she wrote the books before she wrote Cordelia. So, like, it's kind of...
Yeah. And then the same thing with Cortana. We see Cortana, and it's like, so we're not going to talk about the fact that, like, how are we going to fix this with, like, Cortana being unsheathed every time and you summoning Lilith from the beyond.
Yeah.
So then clearly Cortana would have to be fine in the next book.
Yeah.
It would have to be...
Unless it's secretly...
Unless Emma's just been using Cortana this whole time as a paladin of Lilith.
Okay, that's too much. Let's not go there.
Oh my god, imagine if Zara Dearborn became a paladin of Lilith.
Oh no.
She like stole Cortana at some point, right? Does she give it back yet? Is it back?
Yeah.
I think it is, right? That whole arc was like, why can't it just go back to Emma? Like it wrenched itself out of Alistair's grasp and went to Cordelia. So can't it just like...
I love like Cortana. Like I just love seeing Cortana in the books. So I would love a history on Cortana and how she gets passed and like through everyone. I want to know everything.
Cortana through the ages.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would read it. Because I tried to think about it. And
another short story series.
Yes. How does it get from Cordelia to Emma? I don't know. And it makes its way from London to Los Angeles.
Yep. Also, how does it work whenever there's like multiple siblings and multiple branches of the family? Because this whole time, it's like the rest of the family disappears for some reason, and there's only ever one actual descendant of the family. Like the Lightwoods having 2 branches is the most it's ever been, because even in like modern times, you just have one Lightwood family and one Herondale family and like one Carstairs. So where are the rest of them? Why? Like what happens?
And yeah, it's weird. But isn't in the Mortal Instruments, isn't part of it that they're like depleting, so they need more Shadowhunters?
Yeah, but where are they going?
I don't know. They're all dumb, so they're all dying, I guess.
It's like they just pick and the angel just picks one of the like superior line and is like, you get to go on, and you don't.
Darwinism.
Yeah. Moving on to like using that as a segue. I guess it's like there's 2 Fairchilds. So like, does one of them die?
Matthew!
Oh my god, yeah.
You put that back where it came from.
I know it's time.
I don't want it to happen. I just am scared because I love him, so therefore.
I see a lot of people getting really mad about that possibility, not because they don't want Matthew to die, but because they think it's a very bad message whenever all of the alcoholic characters are just being killed off. Like, they can't.
Yes.
Or,
I
like,
was going to say the exact same thing when we got into like the theory section. I think it would just make it. Oh, I'm getting overwhelmed. It wouldn't just be bad because it would make me upset. It would be bad just because it would be stupid. Like, it just wouldn't be a good decision.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense storyline-wise.
The fair child's Clary. Sorry, I had to answer conversation. It's Clary.
You know, I went through this whole thing and I was like, who are the Fairchilds? And I totally forgot about Clary.
I think Clary is like the last Fairchild standing.
Isn't Clary a Morgenstern?
Yeah, but I think
Jocelyn is a Fairchild.
Jocelyn is a Fairchild.
Yeah.
I don't care about Clary. I don't remember her. Who's she?
Fake fan.
Like, disregarding the alcoholism. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The fact that he's a queer character too.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, everyone is queer.
Yeah.
In the Shadowhunter world, who is not?
Yeah.
It's always the main characters too. It's like the side characters, there might be one. But then other than that, it's like it's all the main characters. Not that I'm complaining, but it's kind of funny. You always have like at least 5 of them.
I think that like the theory that we're gonna see somebody get their mark stripped, like I really think we are.
I think it might be Matthew, if anything else.
Or James. I really think somebody's getting their mark stripped. I don't know why. I don't have any proof, evidence.
I was like,
you keep saying this. I'm like, where are your sources? Give me the bibliography.
A long time ago, before we even got Chain of Gold, I was in this group chat on Instagram, and somebody like literally had this big theory, like this big expansive thing. And so I was like, yeah, like Matthew's gonna die. We already get his mark stripped. We already know, like, haha. We would joke about it, but I can't find it anymore. Like, I can't find that theory again. I swear.
You dreamed it. It's all made up.
Because I know it's not like the only theory that I've heard of someone getting their mark stripped was back in Dark Artifices. Like Julian was gonna get his mark stripped, or Emma was gonna get his mark stripped.
Also, I think they make a big deal out of whoever gets their mark stripped, and I know that she wrote these books after, so like I feel like she wouldn't stick that in because getting your mark stripped is such a big thing. You like go down in history as that one guy who got your mark stripped, and like they'll talk about it for generations, and they're like, remember him?
That's in the Dark Artifices. When they mention James Herondale, everybody gets freaked out. It's in the Dark Artifices. I just know everybody forgets.
Okay, guys, we have to reread it.
Let's go right now. Okay, bye.
Livy mentions
James. So, do you remember what book? I'm gonna skim.
Okay, well, Livy was in it, so it's probably Lord of Shadows. Good luck.
She said Livy was in it, so let me see.
Pain.
Not saying anything else, but yeah. So, and they mention James, and they're all like, "Let's not mention him." Like something bad.
Hold on, Emma.
Why don't I remember?
I have Google. Hold on.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't matter to me because I didn't know who he was.
Yeah. And at that time, she knew she was writing these books, so she put it in there. She's had like the last hours planned, like some of it. So she mentioned the characters in there. James.
Wait, it mentions James?
They mentioned James Herondale in the Dark Artifices.
It said.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I found it. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, what if? Wait, what is the punishment for killing another Shadowhunter?
It was the first hit.
Mark stripped. I don't know.
Because what if everyone finds out that Matthew accidentally killed his sibling?
I could see that happening.
Literally Googling it.
I'm so confused. It's just too much Shadowhunter.
Yeah, I'm Googling it. The first hit that I found was from... This was the one... Yeah.
Oh,
this was the one about, like, when you Google it's the first hit, and it's Kit's perspective, and he goes, I heard about Tobias Herondale, he said, so I'm the descendant of a big coward. People are flawed, said Jace, not every member of your family is going to be awesome, but when you see Tessa again, and you will, she can tell you about Will Herondale, and James Herondale, and me, of course. He added modestly.
Okay, nope, there was another line. That's not the one I'm talking about.
That's the only mention that I've seen of James Herondale. And
I promise I didn't make this up.
If I go to the Shadowhunters wiki, am I going to get spoiled or not since the book is already out?
For what?
I guess I have to read it now.
I was gonna say, is this a reread time? Dang.
Yes. I feel like you never end.
So I'm going to start right now.
Yeah, reading sprint. Everybody has
Did you tap it? Please tell me you tapped it.
Everybody, okay. Get your book and find the mention of James. This is too hard. It's not going to work.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's a.
It's not. I thought it was
on the wiki. He appears in Queen.
If everyone watching the thing right now takes a chapter.
Wait, I need to go
He's
and
mentioned
get
in Lord of
mine.
Shadows and
Give me a
mentioned in Queen of
second.
Air and Darkness.
Lord of Shadows and Queen of Air and Darkness. Okay.
Does somebody have an ebook? Can they just like Control F?
That's 2 books.
everybody's
two
like,
very
okay,
fast.
okay, let me look this up. Let me. Everybody's moving.
Oh my god.
Why are we this way?
Why? Oh my god! I've got a bookmark in here. What?
Nobody tabbed like their.
No, I didn't start tabbing until this year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So Charlotte never the series.
No, I did. This is Lord of Shadows. What? Why do I have a bookmark in here? Okay, well, that's one to add to the collection. Oh, no, my hand's over. I'm genuinely. This is a big book. And Queen of Air and Darkness is nearly 900 pages.
We're never gonna find it. Okay, hold on. Okay.
I was gonna say, maybe we should revisit this at some point. This live show is gonna become us reading all the Shadowhunter books.
I'm just opening it to random pages, just hoping I see his name.
I have some tea that is not related to this tea. It says, in some early editions of the book, the engraving in Christina Rosales' room says MF plus LH, Matthew Fairchild and Lucy Herondale, which is changed in later editions to JB plus LH, Jesse Blackthorne and Lucy, though Cassie claims the change to be unimportant and not an indicator of final relationships in the last hours.
Wait, what book does that happen in?
I don't know.
Oh.
Lord of Shadows, yeah.
Oh.
Cassie said, "Please ignore."
Yeah, she said, wait.
Basically, all these
Cassie
books
and
is
her
just Sandra
continuity
Clare writing
issues.
something and then her eventually going, JK, LOL. Ignore it.
Continuity issues.
Okay, I can't. I'm not. I'm looking on my phone now, but
There's a mention of like what is going on here? Wait, who's in the scene? Livy, Ty.
yes. Did you find it?
I don't think. No, I haven't found it. But they mentioned they're just having a joke and mentioning how Herondales and Lightwoods are good looking. That's it. That's all I found.
This is hard.
Oh no, I don't like this. I want to find it. Talk among yourselves.
I know.
Oh, Connor's
providing the tea. I can see.
There we go. Connor,
James.
save us.
Is that Will's?
That's Will's dad. We all knew that, though.
Yeah.
Edmund.
So maybe that's what you're thinking of?
Yeah, that's Will's dad, I think.
I'm just gonna go.
I don't know, folks.
Oh.
It's probably not even in this book. Like we're looking in
I
there.
don't think we'll find it.
Damn it. Problem with them having similar names. I see Christopher Herondale, but it's actually Kit from.
Love that kit. Love all the kits.
Later Kit.
Well, I just see the one where it says Jace is talking to Kit. And it says, "Do you know about Will Herondale or James Herondale?" And Kit says,
I was near that. I was near that. Is that in? I'm just waiting. By the way. Mm-hmm.
But that
Yeah,
doesn't.
that's the only one that I found.
Huh. That's all I'm finding. I swear, if Andrew's just sending us all on a wild goose chase.
I'm just here with my cat. I'm too overwhelmed.
I dreamed it all. No,
We're just gonna.
It's getting me confused now. To
Yes, I found it.
Cancel. Time out.
wait, what page are you on?
I pulled back.
9.
Wait, what am I even looking for?
What did you find?
I just found Jace talking to Kit about
I
Helen.
already read that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm giving up now. I'm giving up.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on. We'll just have to reread the series.
Yeah,
Are you okay? Did you fall off your chair?
Okay, I'm gonna give up, but I'll come back to.
It's okay. We'll just have to reread the entire series and find
Yeah,
it.
it's fine.
Fine with me.
I'll start Lady Midnight right now. I
Okay,
will.
let's go.
Yes.
No, we have this to read. You can't.
Okay. I can do both.
I can
Yeah.
do both.
And then when we're done with the series, we'll just title the live stream "Andrew sent us on a goose chase."
Yeah.
For one line in one of the books.
Well, we know it's either Lord of Shadows or Queen of Air and Darkness, because.
No, it's either Lady Midnight or.
Well, James is only mentioned in the last 2 books, according to the wiki.
Okay. Well. Okay.
So I think it has to be Lord of Shadows, because in Queen of Air and Darkness, he's mentioned because he's talking to Jace.
That's Lord of Shadows.
That was Lord of Shadows?
Yeah, where Jace is talking.
Oh, hey, Connor said something.
Yeah, my Connor's comment. I click it. Gem.
You're like Connor. Like no. That's okay. See,
I was gonna say it's a good theory. I just think we need to not be looking for it.
where's my proof? Okay. Anyway, we can just go into theories and like finish with our theories for the next one.
Wonderful.
I promise I won't do this. Get us confused. I'm sorry. Okay, theories. The globe. Can somebody tell me what's in the globe necklace, please? Because I want to know. What's special about it? I actually didn't pick up that there was something special about it till like Ermine said something, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't realize either until we were talking about it.
Yeah, there's that one line where James is like, I gotta tell Cordelia what's so special about her necklace, and then he like gets distracted or something.
Of course.
Yeah. I need to know now. I feel like it's not something super significant because he's not like jumping over himself trying to like tell her, but I feel like maybe she'll figure it out in Paris.
Which, what do we think is about that whole thing?
I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to be in Paris. I don't know what Cassie's going to do with Matthew and Cordelia. Like, if we're going to just do like a time jump and they're already done, like we don't actually get to see them in Paris, or if we're going to be in Paris.
I think it's too significant to just have a time jump.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to see them. I feel like maybe it won't be super long.
I feel like maybe it was one of those things where it's like, you know, at the end of Lady Midnight where Emma and Mark are like fake dating or whatever, and you think it's going to be like this huge thing and then it lasts like 2 chapters. Like, maybe it's one of those things where it's like end of Chain of Iron. It's like, oh my gosh, they've ran off to Paris. And then you're going to start Chain of Thorns and like something's going to happen and they're all going to have to come home.
Yeah.
Where did Lisa go? Wait, no, where did Teresa go?
Where did she go?
I thought you meant me because I got up.
No, Lisa and Therese both said bye.
Sorry, my
Your
cat wanted
theories
to
are
leave my
too
room.
offensive. We can't deal with them.
They're like, we're out.
Sorry.
But yeah, I feel like maybe it'll be okay. Teresa's back. I feel like maybe it'll be something
Sorry.
like.
Where'd you go? Go on.
My internet's just got super laggy for some reason, and then it just like the entire like live stream page just went, sorry, we don't exist for you right now.
Rude.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. I think that I saw that the time span between Chain of Iron and Chain of Thorns is 2 weeks. Like we catch
Yeah,
up.
I saw that too.
Oh.
So that kind of
So maybe they won't be in Paris.
that's why I was like, I don't know.
They might be back, and then we see like flashbacks maybe of their time there.
Yeah, or
I don't know how I
it
feel
might
about
be
that.
Cordelia having left Matthew in Paris.
Maybe they've been in Paris for 2 weeks and they're having like a good time. And like
Yeah, I was gonna say they could still be in Paris by the 2-week time.
yeah, but like when we catch up with them, then maybe Matthew's like starting to drink again or something. Like the happy time is over and now it's like the bad stuff is gonna happen. I don't know. I'm excited for it, honestly. I hope it's like super long and I hope it's like Clockwork Princess sad.
Great, thanks, Andrea.
I forgot there were illustrations in Queen of Air and Darkness, and now I'm getting emotional.
There's illustrations.
Charlotte's still reading.
Look, because you've got the one
Yeah.
where
I don't have those.
you
Yeah,
don't.
you have to have them in the U.S.
Oh,
hardware.
right. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Because
illustrations.
there's one of
It's
Libby,
when-
and I yelled.
It's when Ty like goes up when he like climbs up Libby's pyre.
I don't have the
Funeral.
collector's first edition of Queen of Air and Darkness, even though I bought it like when it came out. What?
So wait, you don't have
Wait, what?
you don't have it, Ermine?
I'm so sad.
I'm like,
Should I just give you a tour of them?
they're so good. Connor hasn't seen them either because it's not in his copy.
Wait, I might. Okay, hold on.
It doesn't say collector's first edition, but I know
Mine
I got it
doesn't.
right when it came out. So
Wait.
Yeah.
I have them.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you
Yes, it does.
forget?
So is this not a collector's first edition?
I
No, I
get it.
think the collector's
It doesn't.
first edition only
Yeah, mine
started
doesn't
with Lost
collect its
Hours.
first edition, but
Tears. Crying.
Wait, Therese, does yours
there we
say that?
go.
Oh, that one's badass.
Wait, Andrea, do you have the first edition?
Yeah.
Does it say that on the cover?
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, I
Andrea, show me your front cover. Show me like.
No, it doesn't say it on mine either.
Okay.
And I know I got it like
I think it
the day
only
after
started
came
with the
out.
Lost Hours.
No, but
because-
it didn't because the Infernal Devices I have
Oh.
Mine
Clockwork
doesn't.
Prince and
Okay,
Princess.
but Charlotte, you have a paperback Queen of Air and Darkness, and it's in there.
Yeah,
I have it. I have the
Yes, I think
illustration.
it might just
I have
be.
the illustrations in it. So
Well, that's weird because Connor has like that one, and his didn't have it. I think maybe it's a different,
Oh.
but I know his didn't have it. That's weird.
That's so strange. I didn't even notice they were in there.
I don't think I actually have never opened the paperback Queen of Air and Darkness, the U.S. one, with the matching spines. So I don't know if
Mine's not. Mine's just the boring ones.
The
Boring.
boring
The matching spines, right?
yeah, the
I've
paper
got runes on it. That's something.
doesn't. I like the rune ones, yeah, but this one doesn't have it. Has them.
Huh.
Yeah, the paperback doesn't have it.
Mm-mm. Anyway, we
I
really
was gonna say now we're just inspecting all our different editions. So
This is where we're at now.
I think it just like didn't fit on the cover or something because it didn't just start with that. I have Clockwork Prince and
yeah.
collectors, so
okay.
Dude, Queen of Air and Darkness was thick.
Yeah.
I love long books. Like I'm like,
Yes,
please, give me 1,000 pages. The final book in the Wicked Powers better be like 1,000 pages.
I'm so
Sounds like
excited for
2,000.
that series.
No, 1,000 to 1,500.
Yes.
I
Give
need.
it to me,
I
Cassie.
agree.
We can do the Bible thin pages. Like
No,
I'm
they need to be
terrified.
thick so I don't get smeared when I cry on them.
other way. That time is gonna be crazy. Like
Oh my god, don't.
the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like how many years from now?
Probably like
4?
we get the first Wicked Powers next year.
Next year.
I might have.
Okay, so wait, 2021 is gonna be the last. No.
2022.
2022.
Oh no, we get it. We get it. Okay. So in like
Did
4
we get it in 2023?
Yeah, I will be 25 when we get the first Wicked Powers. I read the
Wait,
Mortal
let me check.
17.
Yeah, I started when I was 18.
Yeah.
I started when I was 11.
I was 14.
I was 11 when I read Clockwork Angel.
Oh, gone again.
Therese, okay.
Our internet hates her.
Wait, so 2020
2023 will be when we would get the first Wicked
so
Powers.
3, 4, 5. I'm gonna be 20. Sorry, Therese. No, that was me. I clicked the button.
Oh,
I was like, Therese.
Yeah, I
Oh my god, why can't I?
I'll be
find-
25.
Okay. Yeah, because Chain of Thorns comes out in basically a year's time,
22.
22.
and then the first one, The Wicked Powers, comes out in 2022 as well.
It comes what?
It comes out in apparently according to Goodreads.
I feel like that was probably when it originally was going to be coming out, but they
Maybe.
pushed back Chain of They pushed
Yeah,
back
and then
something. Things got pushed back and it got messed up because she had to like get surgery or something. So that might have been when it was originally supposed to come out. I think we were supposed to be getting this series like a year earlier.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
No,
I don't think you are.
Yeah.
So I think the Wicked Powers was probably originally supposed to start next year, but I think it's going to probably be another year after that.
And is Swordcatcher coming out this year?
I think next year.
I forget that she's writing a whole other series at the same time because I'm like not reading it.
It's like the one book on my Goodreads shelf for next year releases.
Wait, which one is that? Is that the adult one?
Yeah.
It says 2021. Fall 2021.
Fall?
Yeah.
I thought it was this year.
Wait.
Yeah, it said fall 2021.
Yeah, and then she already has the sequel. It's on her her page, like her web page.
Are we looking at are we talking about Swordcatcher?
Yeah.
It says 2022.
On Goodreads or?
Yes, on Goodreads.
Okay.
It was originally, I think, she got pushed back for something and everything got delayed. So I think it was originally supposed to come out this year.
Yeah,
it's not.
I think so.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Black Volume of the Dead because I don't know when that's coming out. I think it should come out this year.
September, I think.
But it takes place between the Dark Artifices and the Wicked Powers.
I'm just gonna keep saying the Lost Powers for the rest of my life.
The way the Black Volume of the Dead
Powers, no.
was like brought up at the end of Chain of Iron for the first time, like chronologically, that's whenever it leaves that institute in the first place. Right? That's the book that Magnus and Jen go to like sort out, right? Yeah. Her mind. I can't even keep this straight, like reading it. How do you?
The Black Volume of the Dead is set to be released in 2021. So this year.
I still haven't read the second one.
So we're getting 2 Cassie books in 1 year? We're so old.
It's been,
I'm so
since
behind.
the Eldest Curses has been.
Yeah, but see, I didn't read the Eldest Curses until this year, so.
See, I've been having a great time getting 2 Cassie books every year because.
Same, but great time.
I think this year I'm going to go ahead and buy Ghost of the Shadow Market and then the first 2.
Ghost of the Shadow Market is worth the purchase. Like the other novellas, Ghost of the Shadow Market. Oh my god.
My only theory, like getting back on to theories, is that I think I say everything about James dying, but I honestly think Cassie will put them together and James and Cordelia will be back together. Like I'm scared, but I'm not scared because I don't see her not giving them a happy ending. So
yeah, no, I don't. I think they're both fine.
I think James and Cordelia are fine.
Yeah.
I honestly think
everyone else
kill off characters like big characters that often, other than like
children.
Yeah.
She just kills children.
Children. She hates children.
Yeah.
Child killer.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, she's only killed like 1, and then my brain was like, no, there's another one. There's another one, sweetie.
They keep coming.
Yep.
If they're like over the age of 16, they're fine. But
yeah.
Well, whenever they're 10, like Max, it was He could have been a teenager.
Stop talking. Nope, put it away.
You know, I've just put the Mortal Instruments into like this box in my head where I cared about it like 5-10 years ago, so I don't really care now.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't. Okay.
Also,
sorry.
Oh,
you want to go?
Say Angie. Yeah, I was gonna say Angie. Please like share your discovery with the group.
Okay, Charlotte, Ermine, listen up. Everybody on the live watching. Just call everyone up. Okay. After we get done, you have to go listen to a song that I discovered that is James and Cordelia's song. It is Hearts Don't Break Around Here by Ed Sheeran. It's perfect. So perfect.
I know the song.
I've heard that song, but I'm going to have to listen to it again.
Yeah, because I can't.
And think of James and Cordelia and cry.
Text this to me. Also, I was texting Lisa with the end of Chain of Iron is Cornelia Street by Taylor Swift.
Pain.
And
No.
All I know.
And then London Boy is just like vibes. Because
It's just vibes.
I was thinking of London Boy and I was like, this is just what plays in my head every time I open Clockwork Angel.
Yes,
Exactly. My London boys.
It's like me choosing between Julian and any of the other guys. Because it's like California and then London.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, yeah, I'll have to listen to it again. But
no, it's so good for James and Cordelia, and it's so saddening. Yeah.
I literally just listened to the first line, and I was like, "Damn, yeah." It starts with like, "She's the sweetest thing that I know," and I'm like, "Okay, here we go. We're here for a ride."
There's parts where it's like,
very opinionated, Connor.
run my fingers through her hair, and like she just talks about Cordelia's hair, and just.
You know, Connor, I was a Twilight hater, so what?
I used to like Twilight. And now I don't.
I never read it. I never read Twilight.
I read it
I
when
used
I
to
was
love
like
it.
11.
You know, if I cared
I
enough
loved
about
it.
content, maybe I would read it just for the sake of content.
I literally read
Oh.
Twilight 4 times in a row. The whole series back to back 4 times in a row.
Same.
I did it in high school. It's the only book I read. I was just always constantly on a loop of the Twilight series. Yeah, it didn't help me in life at all.
Back to predictions.
Anybody else have the final things? Series? No?
I don't know. I'm just scared. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know
I
I'm
think
gonna
our prediction
cry.
is that we're scared and that we're probably completely wrong on all fronts.
Yeah. We're like, James isn't gonna die. Like, nothing's gonna happen to James and Cordelia. And then us, like, months later in the future when there's something bad happens to them and we're all just, you're wrong.
Another live show where we're all just crying. It starts off with us just crying.
Yeah, we were wrong.
The live show was us.
She was like, plot twist, this is the year I start choosing violence.
She's been on her Twitter. She's been choosing violence.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I've been afraid to go on Twitter. Genuinely afraid to go on Twitter.
Just because of Cassandra Clare.
She spoils her own books and just causes chaos.
Yeah. I mean, if
But
you
I
weren't,
think
wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I think at this point with people like having like shared her like PDFs of her books that haven't even come out yet and like all that stuff, I feel like at that point you just be like, I'm just gonna spoil everything.
Yeah.
Y'all can't beat
Might
me
as
to the
well.
punch if I do it myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Lee Bardugo should do that with her books because Roll of Wolves is out there and it's not even supposed to be here till Tuesday.
That's not even it's oh. So annoying.
Oh my gosh, one of my professors will just bring up books and then immediately spoil them. And
Cardinals.
I have to keep muting her during class because she'll be like, oh yeah, and then like The Handmaid's Tale, and then she'll just start talking, and I'm like, please.
There are things that y'all have all read it or that none of y'all would ever read it. So she's just judging y'all. Like
No, like she'll be like using the points that she makes about the books to like teach us in class, and like I'll literally be like, I plan on reading this book, and it'll be like it's like a contemporary Asian American novels class, so sometimes it'll be like newer books. Like she mentioned Scythe, and I was like, ma'am, please.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, it was really random. Well, whenever I'm on like my Zoom class, I do this background so that everyone can see me.
Me too. I sit here and I just wait for people to comment on my bookshelves, and no one ever does.
No one does.
No one cares.
They all use the fake backgrounds, and I'm like, no, this is my background.
This is real. This is real.
This is real.
I'm better than all of you. My background's real.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
It was
This
fun.
was chaotic.
Fun.
That's all that.
Ooh.
We will try to find the quote.
We just have to
I'm
reread it at this point. We have to do a reread.
Charlotte's almost there. She'll find it. She'll like text us in like a couple hours and be like,
We're going to talk about
I'll be like, I reread the entire series for you guys. Here.
We will cry more, I'm sure, and then we will reread Chain of Iron, Closer to Chains of Thorns, and cry again. And then
It's just continuous loop of crying.
that's it.
What do we do when it's over? I don't want to think about that.
Then why did you bring it up?
We just don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not gonna be over. Maybe she'll do 3 more.
Honestly, at this
not
point, I just being
Okay.
like, haha, just kidding. Here's more.
I'm sorry.
Sounds like a threat
Well,
to me.
Dang.
You weren't muted. You were put in time out.
I think
God.
he wants to be in timeout again, I think.
We're almost done with the live. We can't put him
What
in
happens if what happens if I put him in timeout and then end the live? If I make a new live, will he still be in timeout?
He's been banned. Okay. I think this is fun.
Yeah. All right. This is fun.
We'll have to do more live shows.
Yes, definitely. Okay. This was fun. Have a good day. Thanks to everyone who showed up and watched or is watching later if people do that. Okay, Connor, I will go retweet your new tweet right now. Bye,
Connor.
Thanks for coming.
Right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.